everyone, welcome back and a happy new year. Welcome back to another episode of Geeking Out. We're on episode 20 of season 4. If you guys didn't know that.
Amen. Amen. Wow.
Right.
That's a lot of episodes. That's pretty
That's
cool.
a lot of episodes.
So what again?
Episode 20 of season 4.
No way.
It is. It is. I mean,
And that doesn't include the Lost episode.
For the TV show Lost.
Oh, jeez.
Gosh.
That nobody
Stay
watches.
lost. Yeah, stay lost. Let that stay lost.
Please.
I'm your host for tonight. I am Ricky Z. You can find me at RickyZ_social on Instagram and Twix. And you can find me under Ricky_ZTV on TikTok. Next, I have Lucio.
Oh, that's me. I'm at LucyMan on, or at LucyMan79 on basically everything, but whatever. I mostly do stuff here.
And you can find me here on Geekin Out or on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram under Tamon Kane. You can also find me on Screen Kings, which is every Wednesday at 8 o'clock Eastern. And we're talking about really fun horror topics, especially this month for Black History Month.
Because it's going to be Black AF.
Yeah, this Wednesday coming up, we're doing Black AF Supernatural. So stop on by.
Yeah,
That's good.
Yeah. And I'm Cadence. You can find me on Twitter at Cadence Third World, and you can find me on Facebook at Cadence Nova Kane.
Beautiful. All right, and so as always, we have a drinking game, and because we were talking about Captain America: Brave New World, today's drinking game is Captain. So when you hear
my Captain,
that's you gotta drink like 3 times now.
Yeah,
all the sips.
So whether it's juice, water, or other things, take a sip.
Not other things.
We got some friends that don't drink. They don't drink.
Or some people like to have like THC beverages or something. Who knows?
Or some people didn't go to the liquor store like they were supposed to.
Do.
And let's start off with because it's the new year and it's February, and a lot of stuff has actually happened since we were off the air for a little bit. So what are y'all geeking out about? I'll start with I was on 2 episodes of, I can't really say the full name, but it's called F My Hellmouth. Our Scream Kings buddies, People Under the Scares, Bobby and Michael, they have their Patreon, and there's their special content where they review, they watch episodes of Buffy, and they're doing their commentary while they're watching, and I just recorded 2 episodes with them this weekend, and I'm so excited for it to come out. I'm on paid content now, y'all.
Hey.
All right.
I'm gonna speak some more of that into the existence, okay?
Amen.
Amen. What about y'all? What are y'all geeking out about?
Yo, you next. Yeah.
All right. Well, I've been I had taken a break from doing D&D with youth for a few reasons, busy schedule, all that stuff. But started picking that up again, and I don't know if you guys know, there's like a lot of nonsense going on with Hasbro being buttholes regarding their D&D stuff. So I've just kind of been looking. I don't know if this is going to come up. I always have a bunch of other role-playing games and stuff that I'm looking. I have like too many like within reach. Wilder Feast I thought was really interesting because it's let's see if this shows up. It does not at all. Basically, it's a different system. I thought was really interesting because it's the way the skills mesh is really interesting. But it's basically you're like in this like weird post-apocalyptic world, and you're hunting these giant monsters. You kill them, and when you eat them, you gain some of their powers, and just like this continual cycle. It looked interesting. It sounds fun and goofy.
Mm-hmm. Tamon, I know you're excited about something.
I'm geeking out about. Oh, I had something too that I'm so excited about. I'm geeking out about Yellow Jacket season 3 has started, and they dropped 2 episodes on Thursday, and it's already starting off really cool. And I'm excited to see Hilary Swank. who's joining the cast this season.
I need to get into that.
I love her.
Yeah.
You said you couldn't?
I haven't gotten into it yet. I haven't started.
Oh, you should.
Same.
It is actually pretty good.
What is it
If
on?
Well, it's on Netflix now. The first 2 seasons on Netflix, and it comes on Paramount or Paramount Showtime. That's how you can get it.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. It's pretty
I
good.
couldn't remember if it came on Paramount or Peacock, but thank you, because I was like, I wonder, I couldn't remember. But yeah, if you watch it on Paramount, you'll see it all.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's pretty cool. They have this cool way of adding guest actors and stars to the cast. Because I don't know if you guys know too much about it, but it's set in the past and in the present.
Mhm.
And it's about these girls who are on their way to a soccer competition, and their plane goes down in the mountains, and they're missing for 19 months. And in that 19 months, a lot of things happen, and you don't know who survives, who makes it out. And so each season they'll add a new character, an adult character, and you find out that was one of the girls who survived. So we don't really know who's all alive yet. So they have a cool formula to making you guess. Elijah Wood is on this show. He's
fun.
He's fantastic. It's all the 90s stars just got together and said we want to work together on a cool project, and that's what we got. So check it out.
Oh. Okay, I need to do that. All right, now I've been trying to binge Sweet Magnolias. Don't judge me.
I just finished it.
Don't tell me anything yet.
What season are you on, Ricky?
So I decided to rewatch it when season 4 came out. So I'm still making my way through season 3. And then yeah.
I'm on season 1, episode 7, I think.
It's just some wholesome background mess that's cute, and I like it.
I'm so sick of the show already. Cameron,
but you want to know what happens, though.
Cadence has me watching this show, and I'm watching it, and I message him when I'm watching episodes like, I'm tired of this Ross fashion show. I really wish the show had some.
Not Ross.
I'm so sick of this TJ Maxx-ish stuff going on in this story.
Look, this is my teacher wardrobe in action. Don't leave
It
me alone.
They're all teachers. But to be fair, I do enjoy it. I'm not completely invested into characters yet, but I can see some relationships that I can probably enjoy if I continue to watch it.
Look, there's some relationships I'm just like, season 3, I'm like, why are we doing the same relationship again when clearly this man don't want to stay here? So,
like the chef, I really love the black chef, and I hope something happen for him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway,
it is a very good, wholesome show that makes you want to live in a small town and be a part of these people's lives.
But it's filmed in Covington, Taman. Did you know that? Did you see the Watchtower? Mm-hmm. No, you don't matter to you.
It feels like Covington.
So. Let them finish the first season.
Look, the Mystic Grill's in there too, and I'm pretty sure I saw Lockwood Mansion a couple times.
I mean, it looks like Mystic Falls.
It is.
All we're missing is vampires and werewolves and witches.
Look, they're gonna say "bless your heart," and then the things are gonna desiccate. That's what's gonna happen.
We got Bonnie Bennett, the lawyer, and she's also a teacher at the school, and she also is a partner in the business. She's just everything. That's just like.
I love Heather Haley.
I do too. She's great.
I just want to have a new wig, but other than her wig, we're good.
Stop. Don't hide now.
A mess. A mess.
Cadence.
Well, for me, it's gonna be Solo Leveling. This season has been insane in the way that this man is just leveling up and really building a team out of the souls he extracts, and it's crazy. It's intense. The whole point of it is for him to essentially try to create this elixir to heal his mother, because she's suffering from some incurable disease, but it deals with like this other world, and there's like dungeon portals that pop up all over the world, and you have it's the best way to describe it. It's called solo leveling.
Solo leveling. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And he so people are born in this particular time period. They're born, and they end up being a certain class of individual that can go into the portals. They can only go into portals based off their class. So if you're E rank, you should really only be going into E rank portals, or you can be on a team with other people who are higher ranks as a support person. So it's kind of it's just very interesting how they set up the class system. And he was E rank when he went into this dungeon, but after he came out, he's the only person that has the ability to raise his level. And it's he raises his level like he's in a video game. So anytime he trains or completes quests, he levels up.
Oh.
So yeah, it's very interesting. It's really cool, but the animation of the fight scenes and the creativity is just off the charts. It is one of the top rated anime right now. I want to say the last episode that came out, I think it crashed. I think Crunchyroll had crashed. So
because of people watching it.
Correct.
That's incredible. That's amazing.
Yeah, and that's not the first time that they've done it.
I want to be part of that problem.
So yeah, if you haven't checked it out, check it out. I'm about 2 episodes behind, but I've heard that they were mind blowing, and I can't wait to get into them. So yeah, solo leveling.
Well, okay, so one more thing, or 2 more things. So one thing I've been geeking out lately is I've been listening to this podcast called Critical Magic Theory. There's a professor that I found on TikTok that has like a Harry Potter class. And so he does like a critical analysis of mostly the books, but he does delve into the movies a little bit. His name is Professor Julian Wobbly, and he just started this podcast probably earlier last year. And it's been pretty great just to kind of listen to the different aspects. So right now he's gone through like a whole series of all the pure blood witches and wizards in the series. So they're going to work on to the half-bloods now, and so it's going to be really good. But one thing I'm not really geeking out about, and the only time I'm really geeking out about it is when I'm watching other people review it and complain about it, is Mayfair Witches. So.
Oh, I forgot that they came back.
Yeah.
I finished the latest episode today, and I'm actually enjoying this season way more than season 1.
So I've heard that like this last episode has been better. They didn't come on last week, did it?
Oh, maybe that's why I felt like it's been a long time. No.
Mm-hmm. So I feel like it didn't come on the weekend of the Super Bowl either.
Nah. But I feel like they actually are focused, and we're getting answers this season. They're doing more magical things. And I'm actually enjoying this season.
Okay. Yeah, I think there are parts of it where I'm just like, why are we doing this, and why who thought this made sense? Why is Rowan in charge, honestly?
Because she is.
Not good enough reason for me. So as often, we usually take a quiz. This one was more of Marvel trivia, and some of us did okay, and some of us did way better than others. And so just to kind of give you a brief look of what some of this stuff looks like. All right, so we know this
the link
one.
in the chat. Drop the link in the chat for the people.
Yeah. Give me a second. So I'm gonna drop the link for those that want to take the quiz. See how much you guys know. See if you guys can do better than some of us did. So of course this one's pretty easy. What is Captain America's real name? We know this one is
Rebecca Chambers.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes. Bucky Barnes. Yes.
Bucky Barnes.
How do you pronounce this name?
It's
Mjolnir. No.
Mjolnir. I was gonna say I did this question. I was like, Mew Mew is also an acceptable answer.
No, it's Mjolnir.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like a J sound. It's like a like a weird Y sound. The J.
Okay, so I got this one wrong.
Wow.
Now, Ricky.
What?
What Wolverine's claws are made out of?
Well, so it should have made sense since I watched the movie recently, but yeah.
I'm disappointed.
Well,
Yeah, that's
all
for
right.
like common knowledge.
Not any other question now. But Wolverine's claws.
What is
Whatever.
Uru? Uru isn't that mountain in?
I have no idea.
Did y'all know what science Bruce Banner was?
Yeah, I got that one right.
I got
Yes.
it right.
Nuclear.
Nuclear
Although doesn't he
physicist.
have like 17 PhDs or something?
Right.
He got a few of them, yeah.
This one right here.
Oh, I got
What
that
is
one wrong.
Yeah.
I got it right, but it took me a second.
The Skrulls, Frost Giants, Kree, or Shatari. So, what is the name of the alien race that Loki leads in the Battle of New York in the Avengers?
Shitati.
The Chitauri.
There we go. And we know who this guy is.
Ultron.
Ultron. Natasha Romano's
Now
first
this,
appearance.
now this one had me a little stumped, but
Really?
I selected correctly. Yeah,
We
because I couldn't remember if there was a cutscene at the end of Iron Man that she was in or not.
Oh.
And so I was like, maybe, but then I was like, no, Iron Man 2, she was twirling. So I'll
Yeah,
just go
she
with
was.
that.
That's all I know. What is the name of the Black Order member who uses telekinesis in Infinity War?
See, I know this, I got it wrong. It's Ebony.
It's Ebony Maw, yeah.
It's Miss Ebony.
I only know that because I played a lot of Marvel Snap for a while.
This is when I got excited that I got right.
The acronym for SHIELD stands for
Strategic Homeland Intervention Enforcement and Logistics Division.
It's the most boring sounding one, is what the answer was.
Okay, so
who got that one wrong though?
I got this one wrong.
Ricky?
Or no, not the SHIELD one. I got the
SHIELD one.
Right.
Which one?
I got the SHIELD.
How did you get the SHIELD one right and this wrong now, Ricky?
No, because it kind of looked like the Tesseract. But I looked at it again afterwards, like, oh, it's not the Tesseract. It's that's from Doctor Strange.
Yeah, it's
definitely Strange. Yeah, I see it now.
You gotta make the little symbol with your
it's very. Let's open it up.
Look, and to be quite honest with you, I did this like 20 minutes before we went on air, so I was.
We're just
I was trying to push through. This is what I get for not taking my time. This one.
I missed this one.
Me too.
Iron Man.
Iron Man. Okay, yeah, I remember that much.
I thought it was Thor. I don't know.
That was Captain America.
This one I shouldn't have missed, but I did. I missed this one also. I was mad at myself.
I stopped reading this one and just answered. This is when I got tired. This is when I got tired.
Wait, what number question is that? I want to see what. Is there a number on it? Oh, there's no number.
No.
This is why I got irritated.
Okay, and this is Wakanda. We know that.
Yeah. I missed this one too.
Oh yeah, I thought it was Murdoch and Associates.
That's what I put.
Yes.
Nelson and Murdoch.
Nelson Murdoch. And we know who this guy is.
Oh, please.
Sunspot.
What is the name of this X-Men character known for her explosive abilities?
Everybody got this one right, please.
I know, yeah.
Definitely did.
Ricky.
What?
Who did you pick, Ricky?
I put Psylocke.
Exactly. Ridiculous.
Look, okay.
That's
I didn't say I was a.
That's the most Marvel name. That's the most Marvel character name. Jeez.
I
missed this one, and as soon as I picked it, I was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm done."
I remember this one.
I picked Lorna Dane. As soon as I picked it, I was like, "It's Raven Darkhold." I already know.
I remember that one.
Yeah.
Lorna is Polaris.
What's the name of Star Lordship?
I got this one wrong.
Hey, so this one I completely did process of elimination. I had to. I was like, I know it ain't no Quinjet. And it wouldn't have been called the Benatar, even though he did love like 80s music and all that jazz. And he was with the Ravagers.
Ravagers, yeah.
But the ship wasn't called the Ravagers. So I was like, yeah, we're gonna go with this. And I always remember them calling that ship the Milano.
Get to the Milano. Yeah.
All right, this one I knew. This is Carnage.
How you know this? You don't know? Oh my goodness.
Cletus.
Cletus Cassidy, yeah.
I mean,
Miss Cletus.
because I know that a Venom's dude isn't called Cletus. That's what I know.
Well, Venom's not up there, so it was pretty easy.
Uh,
that was a no-brainer. We're not even gonna do this. Skip this.
Okay.
Move this. And who missed it?
Ricky, did you get that one?
well, this
Ricky.
one I got who destroyed Thor's hammer and Thor. I got Hela.
Hella, yeah.
Hella.
I got her.
Oh my God.
Don't you miss the main timeline though? I'm weak at this.
It's been a while since I've done a rewatch. Okay, leave me alone.
Oh, I got this one wrong.
People should pick the Revengers.
I picked Weapon X.
Weapon
Yeah, I
X
pick up next
as
too.
Wolverine.
What?
Early Wolverine.
Oh, I don't
picked
Alright.
this one wrong.
I guess this one too. Yeah, I didn't know this
Quentin
one.
Beck.
Yep, I
Quentin
got
Beck.
that one.
I honestly thought of what's the actor's name?
Oh, Gyllenhaal.
Yeah, I thought I was like, what would this character's face? What would the name be? I was like, that's a Quentin right
Take
there.
Gyllenhaal. All right, so which of these is not an alien?
I mean,
Red
obviously.
Skull.
Yeah, Red Skull, and then
He's worse. Please continue.
okay. In Spider-Man No One Home, what villain does Peter cure first?
Oh, this the one I didn't know. Dr. Octopus.
Dr. Octopus.
I didn't know there
He
was
was the
Dr.
first one to
So
make
was
a
Jamie Foxx was Electro, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Jamie
Okay.
Foxx was Electro. Mhm.
I remember more of their interactions than anybody else's, honestly. All right, and then the first heroine to get her MCU
Captain
solo
Marvel.
film,
Storm.
Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
All right, so since these folks like to clown me, we'll go ahead and talk about who got what.
Wow.
Well, here we go. All right, Cadence, whatever.
Don't hate the player, hate the game.
That quiz 3 times.
I like that they use Shuri as
No,
100%. That's
Listen
awesome.
to me. So
Is
I
this
don't know
clue
what
that
was
you
going
sent
on,
us?
but I'm moving through the quiz and I'm selecting my answers, and then my screen refreshes. I'm like, what the f- is going on?
Oh,
And I had to do
it
all over
refreshes.
Y'all not gonna play me, but all my answers were the same answers when I answered it.
Sure.
Okay,
The fuck?
Captain.
What's
Yeah.
that? Is it me?
Why'd you say Captain?
Why it's not loading? Is it not?
Ricky's using-
It's not on the screen. It's something.
What? Oh, what's that loading? I was just telling you
Is
to
it
drink
loading?
something.
Oh, I thought the results was on the screen.
No, right here. Well, this is me.
Is it me? Am I not seeing something?
Yeah, I think you're missing something.
Probably
It's
frozen. Could have been
4
cheap.
on the side, and then the big thing in the middle is what we got.
Mm-hmm.
What does your screen look like?
We're on the side. We're on the side, but there's nothing in the center. It's just.
Oh, that's weird.
Ooh, look at your hotel
You
internet.
know that it is.
Look at your hotel.
It's not my hotel
internet.
internet. I can get this to my hotspot on my Wi-Fi.
Oh no.
Just know
Well,
this
it has.
there.
We can
Well-
tell you it's the first one was yours. This is Ricky. She got 18 out of 30. You scored better than 20%, 22% of all quiz takers.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Barely.
Hey, it's more than half. That's great.
That is
Yeah.
shit.
Because here you go.
Look at Captain.
Lucio's Captain.
Guy, it's the cheesiest picture of him too. God.
Yes. That's the end credit one.
I got
And
26 out of 30, Cam, in case you can't see.
Amen.
Yay, Lucio.
And then Taman.
20
Right.
out of 30 for Taman.
Taman.
We're not on the same team, girl. Stop it.
Oh,
Rude.
look, we got the
Okay.
same person. Don't
Both
play
you keep
me.
training, and you just might make it onto the Avengers roster.
I didn't
See?
even want to be one. So
He wants to be a Thunderbolt.
no, I don't want to be any of those things. I just want to go mind my business.
No.
Yes, I don't.
He's like, I don't want to participate in this.
No, why am I fighting for? It's not gonna matter.
No. Don't be like that. So if you haven't already, take the quiz. Tell us your results in the comments. We would love to see who did better than me.
That's the name of the game.
Who would do better, Ricky than Ricky? I don't know. Okay, so we're gonna take a quick commercial, and then when we come back, we will talk about New Captain America: Brave New World. Be right back.
Yay.
I guess I'm screaming about the next season of Interview with the Vampire.
Mm.
I'm obsessed. I decided to watch that show. I was having a migraine attack and it lasted for 5 days. So I couldn't watch anything, too bright or whatever. That's why I wear sunglasses when we record. It's literally to make sure I don't get migraines. But I found that I was looking for TV shows and movies to watch that was like, I guess happened at night a lot or was dark.
Yeah.
So I watched an Interview with the Vampire and I'm like, this is good. It mostly took place at night. It was perfect. I loved it. So I absolutely love that show. I'm screaming about that show.
Yeah, me and Christy did a season 2 review last year. It was last year. And when the Emmy season came around and no nominations, I was just like, I can't believe what TV people are now watching. I don't know. Some of the best performances I've seen on television ever.
Yes. That part.
And that was Scream Kings, us doing our Black AF, having some couples on there talking about horror. We reviewed Heart Eyes, really fun time. Yeah.
Yep. New episode on Wednesday. Black AF Supernaturals, which should be fun.
Yeah.
Talk about all the favorite spooky things. All right, so let's go ahead and get into it. Yeah. Okay, so someone's got an echo going on. I don't know. Okay, cool. So
yeah,
they just came out this Friday or Thursday for some of us. Captain America: Brave New World, starring Anthony Mackie as Sam Wilson. We have some new faces, some old faces, some storylines that just kind of resurfaced after 20 years. Yeah. Initial thoughts, y'all.
Cameron, you score the highest. What do you got?
I don't know, because apparently tonight's the night that I'm going to have technical difficulties.
Oh no!
No.
So, whatever. Tonight will be the night that I will carry you. All right. So, are we talking about the series first, or are we going straight to the movie?
What series?
Okay, then before we give our first thoughts, let's go ahead and do a quick synopsis. So we have the newly elected Thaddeus Ross. We've seen him in previous Thunderbolt Ross. We've seen him in previous MCU movies. He was military and I think was his Secretary of Defense at some point. Now he's president.
But Harrison Ford didn't always play that part, did he?
He did
not.
Because I feel like that was supposed to be like big news when it was initially announced about the movie.
Mm-hmm.
But it's overshadowed by someone else coming back and playing a different character.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So we are this. The thing is about this, I'm trying to really figure out, like, what was the whole plot line of this movie?
Of the series? This is why it's important to. Okay, so we got to talk about the series first, because when it comes to the series,
and I like the series. A lot of people didn't like the series.
The series was good. I mean, it was exactly what you would expect the Falcon and the Winter Soldier to kind of be involved in as far as the content. So of course you had like the whole issue of the people who came back after the blip and them needing homes, and then them feeling like they are basically immigrants in a sense, because
Or
they just
refugees.
spent, right, refugees, and they just spent this large gap of time not existing. And then the Avengers fix it, and now they're back, and people are displaced. People are dealing with grief and shock, and like you just dealt with the acceptance of these people leave, these people disappearing on you, and now they're back, and it's awkward, it's odds, of course. So you get to see a lot of the real life turmoil that the people are experiencing in that series, which I think is a really cool thing as it built the world out. And that's one thing that I liked about this series in particular. Like it really focused on the after effects of all of the things that have just transpired on a more personal level, because you're dealing with you got one person who has the super soldier serum, and then you have another one who's just like your I'm jumping in a suit kind of hero. And you really get to see how they're both dealing with this as well, and trying to solve the issue with the refugees, because you have people who want those people to disappear again and don't feel like they should be getting anything at all. So you deal with that displacement, and then you have people um, not being accepting of, you know, the Falcon receiving the shield from Captain America, and so you get to see his adjustment to realizing that he was chosen by Steve Rogers to take up the mantle. So you get to see that adjustment period to him now being a fully realized Captain America in the movie. So you were dealing with things in the series that didn't barely had any weight in this actual film.
Yes. And so,
Mhm.
and then there was the issue with the government involvement, as far as like the government basically tried to take back Captain America as its
Yep.
own, and creating their own Captain America, um, and then having to essentially work with the one that's been chosen for real. Um, but then and then just the I think a lot of it's just the government trying to do too much. I think in this case, the government doing
Too
thinking
much.
they know best in
Yeah,
the
too much in
situation.
some ways, but not enough in others.
Right.
That was essentially what this was all about. And so you
Mm-hmm.
had those people who were the anti-patriotism group, the flag smashers, who was the
Mm-hmm.
ones causing all the things, and they were enhanced with the recreated version of the super soldier serum.
Mm-hmm.
And so just kind of dealing with all of that, and then you get to the end of the series where Captain America or Sam has fully donned the Captain America suit with the Wakandan technology and all of that on it, and you know you deal with Sharon Carter, be finding out that she's the power broker and all these different things, and it we didn't get any of that in the movie. And I
Right.
mean, granted, that storyline may have been wrapped up, and they're probably going to talk more about that particular storyline in the Thunderbolts.
I
That
think
seems like
so.
the direction.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it left it left a lot on the table when it came to this Captain America film, because they went somewhere where um, we weren't necessarily expecting or understanding until we were in the moment, honestly. And so it was kind of interesting to watch.
So this is the bulk of this movie is happening 5 months after President Ross has been elected. He's been sworn in, and the Sam Wilson is actually trying to work with the government in his own way, because he's been more of the middle lane more than anybody. And there is he's President Ross is trying to broker a treaty together with three other nations. I think it was Paris or France, Japan, and India, I believe.
Yeah.
Trying to figure out what to do with this new element that's come from the celestial event, which, thanks for reminding me, guys, came from
The Eternals.
Or any
The
men-
Eternals.
And no mention of Eternals. That's in my
Right.
notes too.
Yeah, that's that. I was like, I should know that, and that's something I remember while studying the movie because I watched it twice, and I was like, I should know what this is from. Like, this shouldn't be like a random thing.
Yep. No
I feel like-
connective tissue.
So,
Nothing.
So, with this the celestial event and this thing that's in the middle of the ocean, you have this new material called adamantium. Adamantium that is supposed to be way better than vibranium.
in terms of its indestructibility.
Yes.
Yeah, it becomes the most indestructible element on our Earth, which of course was going to introduce,
Mm-hmm.
Wolverine at some point for this universe or whatever they're going to do. Who knows? But I like it. So I hear that there wasn't like a verbal spoken understanding of the Eternals and whatnot, but I think just them making sure that they acknowledge the fact that this thing came out of the ocean and is still there. I think that was okay to be an unspoken connection, because if you watch Marvel movies, you saw the Eternals. Yes, some people may not necessarily remember it, but those of us who do were definitely expecting them to put it in another movie or at least talk about it. And they did. I think that they talked about the element that it has and the uses that they've found for it and what they found inside of it, as far as talking about where it came from, or speaking of it being the celestial entities known as the Eternals. I don't think that they had the name for it, because even in the Eternals movie, they were hiding, like they were, hiding in plain sight. So no one ever knew who they were or necessarily what to exactly call them, and so there'd be no reason for them to be addressed as such in normal conversation, unless Shield agents might have been briefed about it. Of course, I'm sure they have. I'm sure they have all the dossier, but we didn't get Shield in this movie.
Yeah.
Another missed opportunity. I just want to say that I'm not going to give this movie any excuses like we would do any other movie just because whatever reason. But I think that was a failed opportunity, and it could have been done very tasteful and easy to tie that into an original movie. And yes, the Eternals do have this thing where they're not trying to intervene, but how much time has been from that happening till now?
That's a good
But they're
question.
not here anymore. They're not on Earth anymore. If you remember the Eternal movie, they ended up in space because they met Adam Warlock, because something else is transpiring, because they're going to face the I forgot what they call the person that was over
Acheron?
them.
Is that his name? Something like that?
I don't know. The planet eating people, but it's
wasn't
not
there like a human friend or someone that was like recording the movie, like a movie, somebody that was involved?
What happened to Jon Snow? Where's he go?
He's still on Earth. Who was taking?
Oh yeah, the boyfriend. Yeah,
Yes,
it's a sword. Okay, cool. That's one thing.
Black Knight.
No, my point is,
the one who's gonna be Black Knight.
Done better with that. He didn't even have that. He could actually had a role in this movie. Sure, I think there was a lot of great characters that have been brought up for no reason, apparently, that could have been used in this. What section are we actually on? I don't even know. Are we just talking about the movie?
I was.
Yeah, we
movie
did the background of the series, and now we're talking about the movie itself. Mm-hmm. But if we can be more formal in talking about what the movie actually is, and then what it wasn't, for sure. We can streamline the conversation a little bit better. Yes. Okay. So well, I'll let you take it, Ricky. What's your take on it?
No, well, okay. So Billy Berserker is asking, because I did watch it twice, mainly because you can't go to the movies with reclining seats, and it's after 7:00 and it's cold because
sleepy time.
It's sleepy time.
That's fair.
Is this the first movie in the new phase?
Is this a new phase?
The new phase.
Are we in a new phase?
Before this one, I think.
So now we
If
got
we're
to split
already
up.
in the phase.
Okay, so Marvel Phase 5 looks like it started with Agatha all along.
And they
first
are
film
and
in the
they are
phase
and
of
they are trying to space out the movies
Ooh.
more.
This is okay. So this says first film in the phase.
This is the first film in the phase.
Quantumania.
Okay.
Oh.
Yes, Quantumania was the reboot of the not the reboot.
And then
was
so
the
everything
beginning of
after
this.
that, and then Agatha's the first TV.
So
TV
what's the first movie? Quantumania.
Quantumania.
Okay.
Yep, we're trending right. Okay.
Yeah.
Or actually,
what?
What do we? Yeah, I guess Quantumania had Kang in it. That's right. Yeah, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And they're trying to space out the movies more at this point.
And not only that, we have to remember there was an entire pivot that occurred with this phase. So this movie, in essence, operates as a standalone film. Like I don't care what anybody says. This movie, yes, because we look like.
I'm confused.
Huh?
Why is it a standalone?
Because what does it tie into besides the 2008 Hulk movie and then mention of the Celestials? To me, that it just makes it a more standalone film. It didn't have anything that progressed this phase, in my opinion. Besides
I don't know if that makes it a standalone film or saying it didn't do the assignment.
It feels like the early I don't want to say it's like phase so, but like with like the phase 1 movies where you're like, oh, we have this Iron Man, and then we have Captain America, and we have this other thing, and they all end up tying together. It feels like they're trying to do this again, and I don't know if that's, with mixed success, I guess.
One of my notes that I wrote down was that it does not feel like we are any further understanding this phase that we're in based off this movie.
I think there's so many pieces.
I don't think there's. Yeah, I think that's intentional. I don't think they care.
Or it was a failed project.
I wouldn't call it a failed project because it was still a decent movie. It was if you look at it through the lens of an action film and for the content that it had, from the beginning and the middle parts they had something there. It ended rather poorly. It did not have as strong an ending as most of the
story beats weren't good. The villains weren't good.
So let's okay. So and we'll talk about how like our overall feelings for this a little bit later because I didn't hate the movie. I enjoyed it.
I'm numb to it.
Okay, so I think one of the strengths and the weaknesses at the same time that you have with comic books, it's the same thing you have with soap operas. It has to have a continuing story that's like constantly cycling, and you can't I can't think of any comic book that I like except a rare occasion where it's like, oh, there's a complete story in here. It's like, oh no, we're finishing the tail pieces of 7 other stories. There's a new story that started in this one, and it's going to wrap up 4 issues from now, but it's going to be this constant cycle of the same thing. The same thing with soap operas. Like there's like constant deaths and rebirths, and like just all this, a baby's born in next episode. It's a 23-year-old woman with a 7-year history, and it's a lot of that. And I think that we're in that era of comic book movie where footing is weird, and so they're trying to they did a great thing by the everything up to the end of Endgame, and they're like, it feels a little bit lost, I guess.
There's only, but we have to remember that it's only lost because of the way that they have pivoted. We had a whole slate of what they were originally doing, and then you remove Kang the Conqueror, and it has shifted everything. And now we may be getting Kang the Conqueror back, but we've already shifted to making a Avengers versus Dr. Doom movie. It's transformed, and so there is no it's hard to have an expectation right now. And I think that we have to revert back to the way that we viewed what they did originally with everything from Iron Man to Endgame. We need to reframe our minds around that. But this would be the weaker movie in the phase so far.
I disagree with that. If the pivot was to streamline, this is included in that pivot and that streamline, and it failed.
They already made the movie.
They did
They
several
can't
reshoots to this.
Yeah.
This movie went through several reshoots.
It did go through some reshoots, but I don't know if it's.
You can
went
literally
through reshoots, but
you
the
can
movie was
literally
still
feel the reshoots and the edits watching this movie.
Now,
You
was the
can
reshoots because of the pivot, or was the reshoots because of certain characters that were controversial?
Yes, another character should have been removed.
Okay, so let's lead into some of the new characters that we were introduced to in this movie. So we first have Joaquin Torres as the new Falcon, played by Danny Ramirez, which I actually enjoyed his character. I thought he was a great addition.
I enjoyed him in the series.
Yeah.
I enjoyed him in the series, and I like that he got more involved in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
I loved him.
Yeah.
I loved him.
He was the guy in the chair in the series. Now he's
now he's in the field. He's getting trained up.
Yeah. It reminded me of Batman and Robin type of relationship. Not so much what they look like, obviously, but I was rooting for even Bad Boys. I'm just rooting to see those two. I would love this story to be on television. I just don't think it was meant for the big screen. I think this story could be, for one, I don't know the purpose of even selling this story. You made a point earlier to talk about world building. I want to know, how is this building out the world more? The adamantium, it was a fight over adamantium, but we didn't really anyway, it just didn't feel like
we didn't get to see it or what it does. Yeah,
feel like that all this was about that adamantium and him manipulating everyone to think it was being stolen. Cool. That is a great political crime story. The execution was poor.
Yeah.
Poor.
Not new, but returning. So Isaiah Bradley, played by Carl Lumbly.
Another wonderful thing to see on here.
Yeah, he was great.
I loved having him back, and I was love seeing him in the movie. I hated the part where he captured and had to turn himself back in, basically.
Oh my goodness.
And not during Black History Month, y'all. Come on.
It was heartbreaking. That scene was he is so good.
But when he was like, I can't go back in there.
Oh my God, yeah.
I can't. I'm like, no, I don't want to see this happen to him. I don't want to see this.
Yeah, I told Cam the same thing. That's the moment that I was like, because other than that, I was numb. But I was like, oh my gosh.
Right.
Yeah.
And he's like, this is the I'm married in, and
yeah, it was
mess up my suit.
It was heartbreaking.
That sucked too. I was pissed about that.
Okay, that's the suit he married his wife in. Don't you?
Yeah,
right.
Oh, I know. It just made me go back to How to Get Away with Murder and Nate and his father. I don't know, for y'all who watched that show, it just made me go back to that moment. So sad.
Yeah, I love having him. I wish they would have been able to use him a little differently. This movie should have been just a tad bit different with a few tweaks.
A tad,
especially for that ending. Yeah, I mean the bones of it were fine to me. Like the idea of, even though again they used a 2008 movie for the bulk of their plot.
When's the last time y'all saw the Hulk?
Nobody saw that movie.
2008.
I don't think I ever saw the whole Hulk movie.
Another poor decision.
Okay.
I would not have. And if they were going to do that, then you should have included some of that in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, because then we would have it in our minds. Oh yeah, they talked about this already, but now we're having to absorb this information in real time. You're talking about the leader is what his name is, as his villain name is, but what you telling me from that one scene where the blood infected gamma infected blood fell on him in 2008? I'm supposed to and I did have a small flash of that scene, and they showed it.
Not even.
But it was enough for me. But oh yeah, okay, I remember that, and his brain was doing all the things. But y'all just now using him from 2008.
Yeah, that's on my list too. I wrote that down.
Without the Hulk. Yes.
That's what they needed. She-Hulk.
That's the only like other like She-Hulk and the little mini Hulk with his son that was briefly introduced. Like that, we don't have. That would have been the main.
They didn't need to be. I don't think they needed to be in the movie. They just didn't need to use the villains that they chose. If they wouldn't have used Hulk villains, then we wouldn't have felt like Hulk should have been there.
Well, they did. So the fiction that is bring in more Hulk people.
Right.
Those were the villains they chose. And
but then it wouldn't be a
bringing in more people. They could have just not had them there at all. And
so if
Captain America villains,
if they had stepped in. So if there had been a Hulk movie between this and something else, like before this, had there been a Hulk movie, let's even pretend it was like a C- Hulk movie. Do you think this would have landed better?
Can I answer that question, please? Possibly, if we're going to get into Hulk things moving forward, yes. Possibly, yeah, this would have been a great way for that. But if Hulk is not going to be a part of the conversation moving forward, this is irrelevant. None of it matters. Pick a political storyline that's going to impact the world that you're building out, not just a random story. If the pivot was to be intentional,
they could just do what they did with Hulk again, and 20 years down the line, they pick the storyline back up again. Okay, so here's a thought that I had. I think this is one of the things that's. So this movie apparently cost around $380 million to make, and when it costs that much, and you only get a couple Marvel movies a year now. You can't have a miss. And I think when it comes to like you're having you're at a comic book. I just looked it up. It costs between $10,000 and $20,000 for a comic book to be made, like before the printing and stuff. But like, okay, you can have you have a dozen or so a year. You can have misses, and it costs the consumer like $3 or $4 or $5. This costs $16 to $20 to go to. There's one ostensibly a year.
So correction,
you can't miss.
Correction. The budget was actually $180 million, and they've actually already surpassed their budget, so they're good on that part.
But with advertising, it usually doubles the cost of it.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, which is insane to me.
I mean, that's semantics. The point is that's semantics. The point is, if you're going to put out a project and you're putting out less movies a year, you have to hit. This didn't do that.
But I think,
to them, it's going to register as a hit because it's also the second highest grossing Captain America film. So it's a hit. The thing is, we might not have liked it, but the bottom line is they got their money from it.
But so I think the issue, you're telling comic book stories and trying to do it in a comic book fashion, but you have to be willing to have failures because they're going to be like that weird interstitial episode where it's like, oh, nothing really happened, and Spider-Man took a break and met some dude and ate a coffee or something like that. And it's like, okay, this didn't mean anything. And 20 episodes later, 22 comic book series later, it's like, oh, remember that? This was important. But you can't do that with a Marvel movie, but you're also, because of the budget, but you're also trying to tell that kind of story. So you're going to have that weird space where we have to have a failure. We have to have this weird space.
Here's my problem. I think that he works on television. This doesn't work in a movie. We want to see where we're going in the future. His character feels like the past. That feels like what the old phase was. He's part of that old phase group of people. Yes, they will migrate over, but we're trying to look forward. We don't want to see that. No one's coming out to see this.
I disagree with that, but I mean, because again, they already broke what they needed to break in the sense of what was spent. And if it's the second highest grossing film, people went to go see it. Whether you liked it or not is a different story. The money's been spent. The movie's been seen. Some people like it. Some people don't.
Yeah.
But it still is a part of the future because he is the one that becomes Captain America in the universe that we are in. So if the storyline is the problem, then that is the problem. But to say that he doesn't move the needle or he shouldn't be here would be false.
I don't think any of us are necessarily saying that Sam Wilson isn't, because I really don't feel like the writers do right by Sam Wilson because they necessarily didn't really do it in this movie to making him the really big focal point like him. taking on the mantle, and they really didn't do it that well when it came to Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So like it was like, yes, it was there, but like he wasn't. They didn't make him the real like true focal point, and for us to, and plus you already have the folks that don't want him for whatever reason to be the captain.
Well, we know what the reason is.
We know about that, but like,
Yeah.
but I also need,
Glaze
but I
over
also
that.
want Disney to back him up more.
Yeah. To that point,
Yeah,
though,
they should. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I don't. So I did like that because like right at the start of the movie, every single military person that sees Sam is like, "Hey, Cap! Hey, Captain! Oh, here's your, let me buy you a beer, Cap." Like that, I thought was great. They just like, it's already done. Everyone who is in his world accepts that he's Captain America. There's no discussion about it, which I appreciated. The Captain America, this one's weirder though because he's like, Sam is a character that is he's a captain that talks. His background, he's like a grief counselor or something, isn't he? He's like a veterans counselor, and so his space that he's in, his work is, I counsel people that have this traumatic background, which maybe doesn't translate to like cinematography because he does like a lot of talking things down, and it's less exciting than punching someone.
I mean, yes, that was one of the things that he performed a talk no jutsu on Red Hulk, which again is fine. It's fine because we've seen Natasha do it to
his love interest,
Incredible Hulk.
Yeah,
and it's like, okay, so you use the same skill. I get it. A lot of what I do enjoy about the movie is there was a lot of homages to the heroes that he's worked with. Some even down to some of the moves that he would use. Like I was like, oh, okay, that's a little bit of Natasha. Oh, that's a little bit of Steve. Oh, okay, he used a little bit of Spider-Man right there. Like it was everything. I love that little nod to the people that he's worked with and how he's pulled that knowledge. And then I also think that what they should have taken from the series was when we found Isaiah Bradley, we found out his grandson also like inherited the super soldier serum in his DNA. And so and we know that he's also supposed to be I think his name is Star and Stripe or something like that. I forgot his damn name. Okay, but yeah, the grandson also dons, a uniform to be a part of that brand. So it really should have been more so them teaming up and dealing with the tension between the government and figuring all this stuff out. And then, yes, you still could have used the leader, but there should have been a villain that was unique to Sam. Like we should have gotten something that felt like, this is Sam's villain. This is this is the person that he's always into it with. This is his iconic villain. We didn't get that. And so that is one of the hardest things to deal with. And then you introduce these people in the series, but you don't necessarily use them properly when we know that in the comics they have fought together. This would have been the perfect time to do like this black team of American representing hero squad moment. Like this was it. That was the moment that they missed.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to commend something that you said about making it personal to him. That's the problem. This story didn't feel like it was his movie. In my notes, I wrote about how did the character grow? How did we learn with the character? How did they expand? No, he was just solving crimes like he's been doing in everyone else's movie. So we didn't get anything about him. That's the problem. I think you nailed the problem right there.
Okay. Perfect, because the villain is what's the guy's name? Leader, right? The dude with the big brain. He is something from 100 years ago, right? Whatever the Hulk movie was. And it's the same. So it's like this thing that's been stewing for 20 years between Harrison Ford, the Hulk, Red Hulk, and Leader, right? This thing that's been brewing for 20 years, it finally comes to a head, and Sam happens to be in the middle of it.
Right.
That's what this feels like.
He's in the middle of multiple conflicts that people just kind of pull him in just to do their job for them.
This was the opportunity to introduce a great villain, not even someone from the MCU for sure. It could have been Mystique. Pretended she could have showed up as Steve Rogers. That would have threw him off his game. If Steve was the one that was pulling this stuff off, of course it's Mystique doing anybody that can fool him. But no, we picked some random story that nobody remembers, and now it's canon or whatever. Thanks for that. But no, this is your opportunity to pull somebody new and feel like we're part of something new and different, but you're still pulling from shit from the past. That's what I'm mad about.
So, okay. So here's some actual new people. So we have Layla Taylor, Secret Service for President Ross.
No picture?
No.
I looked up her like her appearances in the Marvel comics, and it looks like love interest for Sam is like,
it
and then lady who gets put in
that.
refrigerators all the time. Like they keep fridging her character.
Yikes.
Which is awful.
Yes. So that's supposed to be a love interest, and I'm assuming they hinted at that, like if you squint. But she was cute. And then we had Ruth Basharoff, a former Black Widow, but she's part of President Ross' security.
She was cool or whatever. I mean,
so
it was cool to see her fight. She was annoying as a character.
She seemed really tiny though.
I was over. I wanted to say something. I just don't know the best way to say it, so I'm not saying anything at all. I just want to say is, have y'all seen The Orphan? Okay, never mind.
Stop.
The horror.
By the way, real quick, Isaiah's grandson's name is
Patriot.
Elijah.
I looked it up for you. Sorry.
Patriot. Yes. And he
sorry,
takes
I
his
looked it up.
name Patriot.
Yeah.
And he exists in Earth 616 because
he should have been training in that boxing ring.
Yeah,
with his grandfather. And then him and I don't remember. I want to say Robin. So you know who I'm talking about. So just correct me. Joaquin. Thank you. So Joaquin and Isaiah, that would have been a cool
Spicy Falcon. Yeah.
Great moment. And then now the final battle could be the three of them against Hulk. Mm-hmm. Of course, they're not gonna make it, but that's when you bring in your big cameo for this movie to help out. You just had Bucky.
And Bucky didn't do nothing.
Waste.
And what was I about to say? It was about the.
Sorry.
It's okay because I'm gonna get it back.
Remember.
Joaquin. So his version of the Falcon is going to be different unless they plan on getting him kidnapped by the serpents and actually getting him mutated. But he's not going to be able to do that because Red Wing is digital and not an actual Falcon this time. So it'll be interesting to see whether they find a way to give him some sort of power or not, or if it's just going to be he's just going to be straight up like your boy Captain America here, Sam Wilson.
So speaking of the serpents, we have Sidewinder, Giancarlo Esposito.
Who are the serpents?
The Serpent Society. You guys don't know about Serpent Society?
The Serpent Society. The Serpent Society is actually a villain syndicate for Captain America.
Yeah. So Cam, speaking of the Stars and Stripes, it's a team that Captain America started. It had Falcon, Nomad, Vagabond, Diamondback eventually comes in from the Serpent Society. Yeah.
And I was like, that's the one whose arm he broke.
That's a nice pull.
And Lucio, that's how sprinkling those characters in, that's how you make it his movie. And like we're doing something new with him. And not he's just an errand boy for President Ross the whole movie.
And he was overshadowed, and those characters were overshadowed because some of those characters were in the damn movie.
So,
yeah. Diamondback was in the damn movie, but
so if we had taken out
comics, it's not going to hit for you.
Yeah.
So if we had taken out Red Hulk and focus more on Sidewinder and
I mean it could have been it could have definitely been flipped, and I mean we still could have kept the leader.
Stern,
the leader
out.
Yeah, the leader still could have been the little puppeteer, the brains
Yeah.
behind the operation, but we needed a solid villain that put that pressure, that really gave us dread.
Yeah, I think I like the metaphor for sprinkling because it does feel like they sprinkled like all this stuff around Sam, and then like, oh, like it's like you bought a dozen donuts, and they're like, oh, we're gonna give you Sam Wilson at the end. There's your 13th donut.
Exactly what they did. That's about another problem I have with this.
They don't tell you what they're doing. Like you see these people, but if you don't know these people, then you don't know these people.
Right.
Oh, that's fine. That'll come out in the wash. That'll come out in reviews like what we're doing right now. That's fine. I'm talking about it doesn't feel like this is Sam's house. It feels like he is house sitting for somebody else. That's a problem. But
I think they're
one thing I did like about this was you didn't know who you can trust almost, and I wish they would have kept that momentum of that. Like I don't know who's a sleeper agent. Yeah. If they would have kept that momentum, that could have been really cool. Anybody can snap. It could be you. It could be you. It literally could be Isaiah. Can this be reversed? You know, all these. None of that stuff is talked about.
Yeah.
So at this point we're introducing old characters that, like we said, haven't been seen in 20
or talked
years.
about
in about 20 years
or read about.
Because how long has the MCU been a thing now?
2008, 7, 6.
Forever.
It feels like it's been about 20 years.
It's always been here.
And
it was a trip to the moon and then Marvel movies. That's
like several movies later. And so we have, what was his name? Dr. Stern. Samuel Stearns, who we saw at the end of the Hulk movie, who had some droplets of the gamma blood on his brain that completely like mutated his head. And his revenge on Red Hulk.
President Ross.
Yes.
His revenge with President Ross because when he was a general, he had used Stern's brain to come up with various technologies, which we don't know what those various technologies are that he contributed or came up with.
Can you say
so that wasn't helpful? And he's been also, keeping Ross alive long enough to become president. And Ross didn't release him like he said he would after he became president. And so now he's mad because he didn't get his end of the deal upheld. Right. So this is all basically, you violated the terms of the contract. Now you're going to reap the consequences type of situation.
And I'm not going to try to kill you. I'm just going to ruin your legacy. I'm going to ruin your reputation.
Yeah. I'm going to ruin you and your legacy.
There's a couple things.
A sleeper agent Hulk.
Yeah, I had issues with it because, like, this guy who's going to be the president. Oh, we're not checking, like, giving him some kind of medical exam where it's like, oh, you're radioactive. Maybe we should check out what this is. And also, they're giving him a medication that is labeled that has thorium in it, is a radioactive element. Come on, man! Like, you have someone with a base like, oh, I took high school chemistry, no problem, Mr. President. Like, come on, man.
But what they said was the contents of the medicine had just the average amounts of radiation that you would find in a human body.
Just
and that's how he was. Yes, so he was microdosing this whole time.
Gamma radiation.
Yes, that's exactly what was doing. Yeah.
I just want to talk about various technology. Don't drop a line like that and don't have that incorporated in the movie in your special detail. If you're known for developing special technology, you're like in Wakanda, they knew if their weapons, we knew it was special. Where is that? And if that's the case, where is Sharon Carter? What's her job again?
Because she's back in the CIA, but she's still gonna be the power broker. So she's stealing secrets and selling them.
She should be involved in this. This is my thing. I love the idea of Marvel having this whole street level and honoring people who can't move a whole planet by themselves. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I love that they do that. And I think the perception going into this for some people is like, oh, it's going to be one of those. Since it's not going to be one of those. And that's not fair to this. So I'll say that up front.
As the movie that I don't know, as the movie that came out before Thunderbolt, so we don't necessarily have the full, like, backing of what's going on from Falcon and Winter Soldier. Like, it should have been some more elements from that. So at least with her, it'd been nice for her to bring that part back. I
And
think she could have
that
been a good addition.
that's the point I was going to make, because if Thunderbolts is next, it makes sense. It feels right. Like all of them work together in that whole ground political. All of it can make sense. One or two of them could have just crossed paths. Bucky was not enough. He should have been that final fight helping out before he got his wings broke. You should have came and helped your boy out since you love him so much.
Right.
As you said. So like they wasn't smart about how they used the cameos. They wasn't smart about how they the story beats that they tried to lay out. It just, in those terms, it just didn't work for me. And I hate it for him, because he deserves to have his own movie and not a cameo in Harrison Ford's
Wow. Whoa.
Harrison Ford's
Wow.
Air Force One spinoff. And he's also getting a sequel, so I'm to that.
He just pulled a whole Agatha. Golly.
Yeah, I when it comes to this movie, I do think that they could have found a way to do something unique with like the soft launch of the Thunderbolts in this movie. Like, that's a crossover movie has not necessarily happened unless you're talking about Avengers.
Mm-hmm.
Like you haven't necessarily had like, oh,
Iron
I'm
Man.
gonna come at the tail end of this movie and help you out, and this is actually kicking off our movie. So exactly where we're leaving off is where we're starting in our movie. We're continuing the story, like directly. I don't think that's been like they could have found a way to like really make it fresh with what they did in the beginning. And I do think that they dropped the ball because they were trying to divvy up the core of the plot that they were trying to do to make Thunderbolts a thing. And fine, if you want to do your version of Suicide Squad, what the fuck ever. But
Future Commando.
Excuse me, can we capture that when we do our review of it? That we
just make a note of it now,
right?
Because that's what it is.
Future Commando.
Correct, because you did not have to, and I know a little bit about where Thunderbolts is going, and I'm a little bothered by it, but it's okay. I'm gonna chill, and that could have easily, based off of what I know so far, could have easily been a part of this Captain America's world or plot. And they could have easily just been a part of it. But if you're gonna try to start him as the leader of the new Avengers,
that part right there.
Do this. Let's see him do this. Let's see him do it. Even if it's a ragtag band of villains.
Yeah. Like Bucky is right there. There's no reason why they shouldn't have like if this is not going to be really his story. Okay, let's make this a big thing. Let's make this a thing. Let's make them all come together in this movie and then pass the torch. And you be in their movie too. It makes me feel like how what was that movie? Is it Shazam?
Oh, the DC one.
Aldous Hodge was Falcon in this movie, I think. No, he was a Falcon. He was.
He was Hawkman.
He was Hawkman, right? That was that was too.
Yeah.
Who did The Rock play?
Black Adam.
That was the movie, Black Adam.
Mm-hmm.
But Black Adam had this ensemble of all these different superheroes. That's all you had to do.
Mm-hmm.
That's all you have to do. If you're not going to give him character development, give us people that we care about. Star-Lord, him to death. Do the Star-Lord thing.
Oh, God. Please don't.
You know how Thor joined the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Right.
Do that.
That's all right. So we're going to do a commercial break, collect ourselves, and then we're gonna give our overall thoughts like we've been doing on this film. So,
I mean, it was natural.
It's natural. All right, but we'll come back.
Now, someone else had mentioned. Someone had asked me why I picked Alien Romulus because me, like, my list primarily is based off of my emotional connection to characters and story. Like, that's why the first Omen is number one for me, because of the story and the connection I have with the characters.
Heard.
But for Alien Romulus, I think that one's the top for me, more so for, the epic spectacle that it is. Like,
This large, bigger story of IP of horror.
Exactly. It has nothing to do with that, my emotional connection to anything. It's just, I felt like I went to the movies when I watched it.
Yo, I missed that whole piece.
Wait, what happened?
He said I went off when he saw Damien step.
Oh,
I don't know if they get more sequels, but from what I understand of the Omen franchise,
yeah,
this prequel, they did a spin with having there is a girl that comes later in the franchise, but I think they did a really cool thing by giving him an older sister.
I think so too.
And I hope
I like that.
they can really reboot that franchise in a smart.
I agree 100%.
And that was Scream Kings. Me and Christy were yammering about something I don't really remember, but it was a fun time and a good time. We were talking about our favorites of the year, and hers were Omen, but we both agreed about Alien Romulus.
Love it. Okay, so
there, jeez.
Okay, so this is what I'm gonna pull up real quick. So I'm gonna pull up Rotten Tomatoes, and what Rotten Tomatoes says is not necessarily what I'm seeing. I hadn't had a chance to pull up what is on the Twitters, the Twix, but it's got 50% on Rotten Tomatoes, but 80% rating.
What a weird swing.
So does that look about right to y'all?
Can you click on a review? Can we hear something?
What is popcorn meters? Where do those ratings come from?
Yeah. No, not those. Click the 50% one.
This one?
Okay. Yeah.
All right. So let's see. We have, can you see, guys?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Brave New World will be an example of why comfort isn't always the best medicine.
Oh, God.
Let's see. Top critic says is wasted opportunity.
Agreed.
Wait,
hold on. Everybody, let's play a game. Agree or disagree?
Okay.
Do you want to do top critics?
Yeah.
Or all critics? Okay, let's do top critics. All right, here we go. So, wasted opportunity.
Agreed.
Agreed.
Okay.
Mixed.
Okay. I would say mixed on that one. I think there was definitely some wasted opportunity.
I'm sorry. I just want to be clear. It's agree or disagree, not me.
Oh my God. Okay. I agree then.
Thank you.
I'll disagree. Well, oh man.
You know the truth.
I agree. Well,
it was a wasted opportunity.
The issue there is like almost any movie could be better.
It doesn't mean you hate it. It doesn't mean it didn't have great elements. It doesn't mean that Anthony wasn't great. It's just saying
not every movie could be everything ever all at once.
That's fine.
Thank God.
It was a wasted opportunity.
And so was that movie. I'm kidding.
Okay. All right. So next one says it's a toothless attempt at topicality. Because of that, there's little that feels very brave, and even less that struck me as new.
Agreed.
I disagree with that.
Agreed.
I disagree with that.
I feel like I wrote that.
Are you Sarah Michelle Fetters?
Right.
The only reason that I'm going to disagree is because
the brave part.
Girl, you're doing too much.
Right.
See, you know what, guys? Remember, look at this objectively. Just because it's a little sassy doesn't mean what they're saying isn't correct.
It's over. That's over the top.
It's too much. It's
okay.
Too much. I agree.
So, and that person gave them a 2.5 out of 4.
Agreed.
Okay, so this one is from AV Club. Original score was a C-. So this one I can agree with. So in keeping with the MCU's increasing in singularity, the vast conspiracy is mostly just a collection of loose ends from other Marvel projects that didn't add up to much.
Agreed.
Disagree.
Insularity, the vast conspiracy. Well, man, this person just used the thesaurus for their answer.
It's the AV Club. What do you mean?
In keeping with MCU's increasing insularity, they're going to with their material. The vast conspiracy is mostly just a collection of loose ends from other. I mean, yes, the last half, sure. The first half is weird.
I just
but
want to go
sure,
back.
agree.
I just want to also reiterate that it's only agree or disagree. No, like no extras, but or no, but just a tinge.
Oh no, I've already flat out disagreed.
Thank you so much for your contribution.
I agree, but man, like this is a lot.
All right, we gotta keep it moving.
Okay. Let's see. While the performances by Ford, Mackie, and Ramirez are solid, the film as a whole struggles with moments of blandness and does not successfully create a distinct enough personality for the new Captain America.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Get over it.
I think he does a great Captain America, but they don't. Yeah, like this is two things. This person's saying two things. This person's saying two things. This person's saying two things.
Lucio, you can't do that.
Lucio, you can.
This person, no, that's
Lucio.
This is the bullcrap. This is the bullcrap. If you took this to English teacher, they'd be like, "That's two separate subjects the sentence talking about." Hey, this is literally an apples and oranges situation.
Yo, calm down.
Lucio,
Okay.
if you agree, you're agreeing with both things. You agree that the performances were solid, and you
but they weren't. But Mackie does a great job.
No, I don't think he's talking. So she's talking. The performances are great.
A distinct enough personality.
The story itself, though.
Lucio,
the film as a whole. Since the film as a whole does that make this a legit separate?
It's 2025. I bring this energy to everything now. Everything.
You're gonna pull up to mine and just be.
Lucio, please. I just want to remind everyone that the answers are agree or disagree.
I disagree with that.
I just want to remind everyone that we have said Captain a few times and sips have not been taken.
I had to run to the restroom during the break. I'm clearly too much.
You deserve a drink. You deserve a drink. You deserve one.
He's so frustrated. He's just so frustrated.
Okay, so frustrated. Keep going.
All right, this one's from USA Today. As excellent as Evan was as Cap, Mackie's shown equal skill in crafting his own version of what that character should mean. In his case, weathering the pressures and politics of being a national symbol and being as adept with his words as his fist. So
agree.
What is
yeah. I think Mackie did a good job.
Okay, agreed.
He's a talking Cap. He's more words.
She basically just said, "Oh, I think he was great. I like his outfit and his pants." Okay.
2.5 out of 4. All right, let's see. Wall Street Journal says, if Brave New World is an event film, at least it's competently executed without resorting to played-out gimmickry, such as skipping across the multiverse, and gives the audience plenty of analog for real-world problems.
Agreed.
Okay.
I agree. I just hate the way he said that.
Right.
Leader literally says there's another world that you're gonna have to deal with soon.
Yes, at the very end.
But no, that's fine. I agree with what he's saying though. Like it doesn't have a lot of gimmick. Like I mentioned, it's very grounded. It's very much what the more so people like us would be looking at it from, because we can relate to Sam. We can relate to Sam more and all that jazz because he's human, just in a suit, like Bucky said.
Yeah,
you don't need the serum because like you give people something to strive for. You show what you can be without it, but he does need the serum, and I think he accidentally actually got it in this movie, but we'll see.
I just want to say two things. The first thing is, throughout this movie, I said multiple times, he needs the serum. He needs the serum. I was so sick of this. I'm so sick of this. Let Wakanda save the day gear. I am so sick of it.
Man.
And the other thing I want to say is that, remember, the responses are only agree.
Oh my God.
Or disagree. And I want to institute a new rule since we have a new game now as a family. If you go beyond that answer, you have to take a sip.
Oh God.
Yes, not. Okay. So,
all right.
Ricky,
okay, Tiber, Washington Post says the movie's more interested in fan service and protecting corporate IP than in telling that story or any story.
Disagree. That's weird. What fan service? That's my issue.
Take a sip.
I'm gonna have this is the pee
Take a
break
sip,
season,
Lucio.
you guys.
I agree.
Pee break
I
season.
agree.
I'm gonna say this, and I don't mind taking a sip. I don't see any fan service, but everything else.
Yeah.
I can tell you where the fan service is.
Thanks for Bucky doing nothing.
Thanks for the Red Hulk for 5 minutes of destruction.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's do like two more from New York Post. Fight sequences are meditative. The Grave Whisper acting belongs in a coming attraction trailer from 1996, and yet again, the viewers need to have watched the TV series and at least 2 movies to fully grasp what's happening.
Agree.
Disagree.
I mean,
Disagree.
Johnny Olin, sorry for killing your name, but man, like it's a Marvel comic book movie. There's a million of them. You have to watch all of them. That's how it works. Sit,
Lucio, take a sip.
Captain.
Boom, 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 boom.
and last one from the New York Times.
Lucio, please.
With this cheap action and garish visuals, it's then that we enter yet another genre altogether: action figure commercial.
Disagree.
Can we finish the last two?
Okay. From Girl Culture, this is on Substack. And instead of feeling like the big splashy debut of a new era for MCU, Brave New World feels like the subpar sequel to a better movie that doesn't actually exist. Oh wow.
Agreed. And I said that.
Yep.
Agreed.
This is your other Girl Culture Substack, Caroline. That's you, Caroline Saidi.
It's Caroline Said.
And then from Times of Israel, the story is clunky, the action is rote, the characters are bland, and the special effects look cheap. I wouldn't say that.
Disagree.
Unless my glasses was foggy, it looked grainy as AF to me.
Oh.
Grainy.
Take a sip.
Agreed. In fact, everybody drinks something. Captain, whatever the word is.
Captain.
Lucio, I enjoyed how feisty you were. Like, Lucio, stop fighting. Oh no.
No, Nosferatu's coming out.
I'm gonna let you know for the rest of this. What are we? Episode 20 of season 4. Whatever the rest of the season. Yeah. Anytime I go dark, anytime this happens, pee break.
Nosferatu just emerged, and that's what that means.
What's in your cup? Okay.
You know what it is? I maybe went and saw a movie today that I had to see for the podcast. It's the rest of my soda.
No, you didn't wait till today to go see the movie.
That's the only time I had, man.
It's okay.
So my daughter had wisdom teeth surgery, so we've been dealing with that the last 4 days.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't stick to my normal tradition of seeing a Marvel movie the day before. It wasn't because of the movie. It was literally because I was very tired. I worked like a dog. They worked me like a dog night.
It's because of the movie.
It's not because of the movie.
It's because of the
Stop. Okay, so here's the question.
Best friend, I know you. It's because of the movie. Give me my money. That's how I felt when I woke up out of the theater.
I did nap a little both times. I did too.
Everybody had like one boot micro nap.
I did.
Yeah. Waiting for the end credit scene that shouldn't even existed.
I mean,
I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Ricky. Go ahead.
But that trailer for Fantastic Four looked kind of cool. Whatever.
Yeah.
What?
Is it a new one?
Well, no, I hadn't seen the first one. I mean,
that apparently is the start of.
It was cute. It was very cute. It was very cutesy.
It looks like
very demure.
Ant-Man. It gives me that vibe.
I don't know. Either way, that's for us.
I hope it's more exciting than it looks.
Well, the thing is, I haven't been excited for it in the first place. So,
good luck, Jonathan Majors.
Phase 6 is supposed to start with that movie.
What movie?
I think
Fantastic Four. Seems like
When
a very
is it?
short.
You
like
said it come out June 6th? What you say?
What?
Phase six
Phase
for
six.
Marvel
Oh.
is supposed to be starting with the Captain America or with the
Bring the
Fantastic
mutants.
Four movie.
We're sick of it. The problem is
Oh, wow.
we're done with this. We're done with these things. Bring out the mutants. We're tired of people who fight with crossbows and guns and shit. Bring out
Bring
people
out the mutants.
who do stuff, who gotta put on glasses because they can't.
Clip that.
Bring those people here. We're sick of this. We're sick of people who kind of take out. We're sick of it.
You're going to jail. You're going to jail.
That's the real problem. That's why this
Shoulda know.
nobody wants to say it but me.
Shoulda know.
Jenna, no, we're sick of it. We're tired of people scratching at people trying to fight. We're sick of it.
You are going to jail.
We
Black History Month, you are
need
canceled.
people.
You
We
are
need
canceled.
who are bringing Storm down. We need people who are taking off their glasses and going in on people with beams. We're sick of it. We're sick of it.
Okay, so here we go. Closing segment. Did they miss the mark? Nailed it or failed it, as Timon likes to say.
Oh, can I go first?
Go ahead.
Failed it.
Oh.
Oh, do I do more?
Can we give it a sliding
Disagree.
scale?
I'm sorry. See, I planned on not saying anything tonight. That's why I got this picture up.
Stop. Get out of here. Get out. Give it a sliding scale. Come on, Cadence.
So,
do I get final thoughts or just that?
Give me your final thoughts with your nailed it or failed it.
Okay. Failed it. And I think it failed it because it didn't set us up for what needs to happen next in this franchise. I know we say all the time, oh, every movie doesn't have to do that. Well, now it does because we had a pivot and you had reshoots to fix it and everything needs to be intentional. But you just can't keep giving us random ass movies that means nothing to us. It's not going to work.
And spacing. There's so much spacing now.
There's so much. Yes, everything has to be intentional. And this movie on paper, just for me, it wasn't good. And I wish that it could have been a movie like I thought about Alex Cross. I don't know how many people watched that on Prime. I just wish he had the love and care that character had. He deserved this. Where was his love interest that also was a sleeper agent? Cliche. Where is it? Give it to us. He needs it.
I want it.
He was a cameo in a nothing movie that's leading up to the Thunderbolts.
It was the only personal connection that he had was Isaiah. And I mean,
and Bucky.
Sure.
He was there too.
Sure.
Yeah, Bucky.
It didn't feel like his movie.
Yes.
It didn't.
And why that black widow? Why that widow? Why her? I saw another Gracie. She said that character was a missed opportunity to have maybe a Wakandan spy like Nikita. Like that would have been a great character. Okoye, one of those. That would have been a cool opportunity since this is a new material that could rival vibranium. You know, they should have been involved.
I was just gonna say, I don't know if they let that person be as close as that one was to the president of that universe.
I mean, look at his Secret Service. That girl.
Yeah, that Secret Service. This is her. This is his head of defense.
Well, it could have been her, for all I care. It didn't have to be the head of defense. It could have been her.
So, Cadence, nailed it or failed it?
Did they miss the mark?
No, that's not how the game
works. I was Cameron.
How the game works.
That's the question on the paper.
It is the question to run a show. Did they miss the mark?
They missed a mark.
This is
they missed a lot of marks.
Yes. I was Cameron on this.
Listen. Okay, so listen to me. I cannot give this movie too much because it's a Black History Month.
Yeah.
That's the only thing. See, that's
yeah. I talk about my things in house. We don't put it outside. So
now that's very black. That's very black.
You better wait till you get inside his house.
right. So
We a mixed company.
yeah, they hit a mark that did not land with the people. There were other marks that could have been made. So that's what I will give you. There were better marks to hit.
They hit some marks, but not the mark.
What marks did they make? That's what I would love to know. What marks they hit.
Well, I mean,
And you
just
said marks plural, so please.
Yeah, just opening up the the idea of the applications around whatever is inside the celestial being, what that could mean for the future of Marvel,
Yes,
or the future of the universe in general.
yes.
I guess if you talk about the whole request to create another Avengers team, I'm sure now that that's been brought up, of course, that's still going to happen, but what does that look like? Is it going to be Young Avengers or just Avengers, or like what is the goal here with this particular Avengers that is going to get made?
Avengers babies. Everyone was
right,
like Muppet
right.
Babies.
Oh, go ahead.
I would just you're right. I think what was missing was Ryan Coogler. He needed someone who understood the black experience of being being I hate to say this word, a servant of the country, of a country that doesn't serve him. And so that story, though maybe typically cliche, is something this is built into literally him. And it should have been.
But that was part of the identity that they built in the series and
they did
in the movie.
And where do we go from there? We don't. And now it's perfect. That's not realistic. It's not realistic that everybody you walk around is like, "Hey, Cap." That's not realistic.
That's very true. Yeah,
not realistic.
We know there's a-holes out there.
You made it feel cheesy and tainted. Those reviews, though they were spicy, if you take out the meat and spit out the rest, it's true.
And that is why, like I said, they hit some marks that they
Ryan Coogler,
but they missed a lot of marks that could have been made. And yes, I think it definitely would have been good to have a black lens on it.
Ryan Coogler is not just about Wakanda. You acting real Wakanda-ish right now. Act. It's other
not insular country.
Don't let him down. Don't let that happen to him again. This is the problem. This was not a story about a black man in the situation. And though people say that's woke, but this is literally his character that was built out. So it's not it's what we should see, like in Black Lightning on a TV show. It's built.
Oh, so good. Okay. Yeah. So that's my take. It missed some marks. It missed a lot of marks, but it hit whatever it wanted to. It didn't land with the people. It didn't land with the people.
Did it hit what it want though? Lucio, did it hit a mark?
I'm on board with Cameron. I think that was it a fun movie? Yes. Like, is it all the things that I wanted a Captain America movie with this Captain America to be like? No, like I want more from this character. I want to see like all the things you are talking about. Like, oh, there's like issues like that scene in the bar that I mentioned was like, oh, everyone's accepting that he's Captain America. You know, there's like 4 a-holes in the back at a table in the back. They're like, oh, blah, 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 and there's going to be a fist fight before the end of the day. Yeah, exactly.
Where was that?
Yeah,
where was that?
For real. He already kicked their asses in the previous episode that didn't happen. And this movie has my least favorite way of dealing with your final conflict, and this one landed a lot better than the other ones. Okay, so this is I told Cameron I was going to do this, my Shrek 3 problem. I hate this movie because it leads up this whole entire time. You're collecting all the villains, and then at the end, it's Justin Timberlake's character is like talks everyone down. No, we don't need to fight, guys. We can be best buddies. Everyone can get along. I'm getting a little blurry here. Everyone can get along, and that's Sam's character. But you had a cool fight, and so it lands a little bit better. But it's like you can't have it's weird to have your final conflict be like, "Hey guys, we can get along."
What about your daughter, who you haven't seen in 20,000 years?
Right. Where you are,
and don't return your phone calls.
Right.
Yeah, it landed better here because they literally destroyed all that symbolism, and like he's literally catching the like final burning cherry blossoms of what they just did. Still not
I
great.
will say that he did do his good twirling, whether he was in or out of the suit. So kudos to him.
Oh yeah, I will. That scene when he was testing his gangster, he was like, "Oh, you fragile." He was like, "No, I just get a little angrier when I'm out of my suit."
He fights distinctly different. Like when he has a shield, it's very clean and good, and it's dirty when he's like. That's how you'd have to fight. Like that's how it is. He's a normal guy.
And I also like that his fight style was different from Steve's.
Okay.
I appreciate that. This is the thing when you do these type of switches, like going through the different Robins. Whenever we get a great version of that, you're gonna go through that icky feel when you pass the torch. Charmed, Shannon Doherty, Prue to Rose McGowan's. You go through that little icky moment, but if it's done correctly and you sell it, it's gonna be beautiful. And I just hope that he's used correctly moving forward. Yeah. Ricky, what is your nailed it or failed it?
Come to the dark side, Ricky.
Nailed it or failed it, Ricky. You know this.
I don't think it's a fail. I can't say it nailed it, but it didn't fail. It failed to launch.
Yes.
That's not how it works, Ricky. You can't.
It failed to launch. I just
you gotta, it's either nailed it.
It didn't stick the landing.
It did not stick the landing.
No, not at all.
What did
No.
it stick? What did it stick?
It landed, but it didn't
Somewhere.
stick.
Did it get up to land?
That was like failed to launch. Didn't really stick. I can't say that it's a horrible movie. It's not a horrible movie.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
No, it
had a weak storyline.
It did.
Which is the movie.
Jeez.
Which is actually the movie.
But there's still enjoyable things about the movie.
There were still enjoyable things. So the
I
storyline
like
failed.
the costume.
Storyline failed. Villains failed.
Both a wasted use of John Esposito. John
he has to come back.
He has to.
He's good at anything he does, but I just
feels
wish
like
that.
So you know how we have those like
he
Go ahead,
plays his
Rick.
typical typical
Oh.
like villain self in this.
Yeah. He has that voice.
He did say the next time I see you, you'll be taking your last breath or something like that.
Yeah, when I get out,
that's okay. That's your
We'll
villain.
see him 5 movies later, maybe.
Ooh.
See, what they should have done is have him be Magneto and have Mystique in this too, and that's his love interest the whole time. And then he shows out at the end. He takes care of hope, but they'll see they don't do nothing right. They don't do nothing right.
And on that note, you can find me at RickyZ_social.
Oh, you can find me at Lucy Man or at LucyMan79 on a bunch of stuff, but mostly here.
You can find me on Geekin Out. You can find me on Scream Kings. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Twitch under Tamon Kane. Thank you.
And you can find me on Twitter at Cadence Third World and on Facebook as Cadence Nova Kane. And I'm out.
And you can
we are.
Yeah, go ahead. And we are.
Too early.
Yeah. Make sure you like and subscribe and follow us on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram. And if you felt some type of way about this movie, let us know in the comments of any of our social media accounts, as well as TikTok. So, I'm Ricky Z.
I'm at Lucy Man.
And I'm Tamon Kane.
And I'm Cadence.
And we are
Geeking
Out. We did it.
We did it, Joe.
Oh, we did it, Joe.
Hi, y'all. Good night.
Captain.
Bye.
Oh, Captain.
Oh, Captain.